Well, as Wesfarmers scrambles to pay back tens of millions of dollars in unpaid wages to staff, hardware and office supplies have helped deliver a 6% jump in profit to $1.14 billion. Despite that, shareholders will see their dividend cut by 25% to 75 cents a share. I caught up with Managing Director Rob Scott from Perth. Rob Scott, welcome to the business.
Hi, Rachel.
Rob, Wesfarmers owes thousands of staff millions of dollars. Why is it so hard to pay people correctly?
Well, the issues that were identified last year in terms of the underpayments were very disappointing, but as soon as we found out about it, we undertook a very detailed review. What that review has identified is the need to strengthen processes, invest more in our systems to deal with what is a very complex issue. But you know, the complexity is not an excuse. We have to get this right. As soon as we identified the issue, we've put in place plans to address it. And I'm looking forward to being able to repay our team members with penalty interest as soon as possible and then reduce the risk of this happening in the future.
The government obviously agrees that these issues need to be addressed. The Attorney General, Christian Porter, rolling out the big guns with threats of hitting companies with criminal penalties in the worst cases. Do you think Wesfarmers will fit into that category?
Well, look, I think we will all be judged. Companies, businesses will be judged by how they respond when they identify the issues and also the detail behind the problems. Now, the issues that we have identified, although they are in the millions of dollars, represent a very, very small proportion of our payroll. Now, that is no excuse, but it is relatively immaterial in the scheme of things, and they have been inadvertent and regrettable. And we've moved very quickly to address them. I guess what I think we need to be mindful of is that I think we need a policy framework here that encourages people to bring to light any issues rather than force them being covered up. Now, part of our culture is openness and raising issues and problems that arise. And I'm glad that our team have very openly raised these issues. And I'm glad that some of our partners have raised these issues with us as well. It's given us the opportunity to move swiftly to address them.
Late yesterday, Wesfarmers announced that it was selling $1.1 billion worth of Coles shares, holding on to just enough to retain the ability to appoint a director. Do you need that extra cash to pay staff back?
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. As I said, the actual financial implications of the payroll issues are relatively minor in the scheme of things. Once again, that's not to minimise the importance of the issues, but the decision to divest a 4.9% stake was really in recognition that it's been 15 months since the demerger of Coles. We've been very pleased with the outcome in both Coles and Wesfarmers since demerger, and really it was taking a bit of profit off the table while still retaining a very meaningful interest in Coles.
Looking at your results today, your top performers, Bunnings, Kmart, Officeworks, continuing to deliver the gravy train for Wesfarmers, but Target seems to be the chronic underperformer. Can you turn that around?
Well, you're right that there were some mixed results within the group today. In today's results, we had some very strong performances from a number of businesses. The performance of Target and Industrial and Safety were disappointing. Now, they are relatively small components of the overall portfolio, but nevertheless, we need to get on and improve performance. Target's facing a number of challenges in that mid-market retail space. It's an incredibly competitive environment. It's an area that is subject to greater digital disruption than other areas. Now, there are a number of things that we're focused on around network optimization, leveraging the sourcing capabilities of Kmart to help with Target. And we're really focused on getting on with that to see if we can improve the performance.
China, a big supplier for companies within Wesfarmers. How big of a hit is the coronavirus going to have on those supply chains?
We've been monitoring developments within a number of factories based in China and surrounding China that are important for our supply chain, and it's really too early to assess the extent of any impact. What we're looking at is really on a factory by factory basis, the flow of workers back to factories post the Chinese New Year holidays. And it's not really until we see the ability of workers to get back to factories, the opening up of supply chains, that we will really better understand the impact. So really, I would say it's over the next 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how that pans out. That will really help us determine the extent of any impact.
Rob Scott, good to talk to you on the business. Thank you.
Thank you.